Hello, I hope you all have a good day. Thank you very much for clicking this video. My name is Turna and I wanted to talk today about my debt. It's a little bit of a difficult topic in a sense because I don't know how to start. Usually I'm not, how can I say, baffled when I have to communicate about things like that, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's maybe have a look or start with the poor facts numbers. So maybe let's start with some information about me. So my name is Turna. I am from Germany but living in the Netherlands. I am 44. I have no children, no partner. I have only my single income and I have only a cat that I'm feeding right now. So that's in a nutshell. So when I moved to the Netherlands in 2020, I bought an apartment and I offered, let's say the buying price or asking price was 179 and 500, and I offered 185,000 euros. So since then I'm paying a mortgage, and the mortgage reduces monthly based on the payments that I do, of course. And it started maybe, I'm not even sure, I think with 700 something ish, and it went down now so far to 615.85. That's the last number that I have right now that it's due this week. Currently I'm at a balance of 147,055 cents. Now, this is not the, let's say, the minimum payment. This is a minimum payment, but because I do extra payment of 388 euros additionally, of course, this drops a lot. And of course, this monthly mortgage sum drops as well. I set it up that way, or I requested it on purpose this way because I didn't want to pay always the same amount, and don't have any kind of visible progress except the this one. So for me it's like double the success, let's say. But of course I'm a first-time homeowner, and having that kind of big that is really the first time where I'm like, oh my god, it's a lot. So, and this one also for now it has a 1.24% fixed interest rate until 2030. So I set it up for 10 years because I was like, if I have only 10 years to pay this fixed interest rate, I will hurry up. And as you can see, if I bought this place in 2020, yeah, and then now we have 2024, yeah, I have not made a lot of, let's say, progress. So, but there is another factor to it that I was not aware of right now. And when I, for example, would decide, let's say, to move to a bigger property or to sell this property, if I buy, let's say, a new property, I would be able to transfer these conditions, the low interest rate and this time frame, so to say, to the new property. Maybe you have in English a term for it, I don't know, but my friends made me aware of it. It is not wise for me to pay my mortgage off very quickly. Apparently, now we have 2024, right? 6 years that are remaining. I can transfer them without problems right now if I pay my mortgage, let's say, as intended, or without making any further additional payments or trying to pay it off quickly. But if I try to pay it off quickly, this 6 years apparently reduces, and I would not be able to transfer the full 6 years. I mean, it's not even the full 6 years anymore, 5.5 years, to a new property. So, yeah, on one hand good, on one hand bad, because, I want to pay, of course, my mortgage off as quickly as possible, but I don't know what the future holds, and yeah, it is a little bit of a tricky situation. So that's the first thing here. I changed the debt tracker just for information. I got it from a website. It's called inkpx.com. So you can, print out for free other debt trackers. I thought at the time I just use it for one debt, but I don't have so many debts. I will just, also hint to that. Now, the next bigger debt, so to say, for me right now, or will be upcoming, is a dental treatment debt. I actually requested my dentist to place an order for retainers. The brand is similar to Invisalign. I don't know if you heard about them, but they are producing transparent retainers, plastic retainers that you can put in your mouth, and they will help you to straighten your teeth. And the cost that I was quoted in the beginning was 2,500 euros. And the dental technician who's taking care of my treatment, she said, depending on the let's say amounts of consultations, etc., it will be 2,500, but it can be also less depending, on the certain situation. And she said, let's assume my treatment will be done because I have just only 20 retainers, and I need to change those retainers. That when I say 20 retainers, I mean 20 pairs, and I need to change these 20 pairs every 2 weeks. So that means within 5 months, more or less 6 months, let's say, I'm done with the treatment, and then this amount will be due. It can happen also that I will pay a lesser amount because this was just a quote. And I'm aware of it because last time I went to my dentist to get, the cleaning done, etc., scaling, and so on. And then I was billed not only for the scaling part, but also for this dental treatment part by accident, because the dental hygienist, I think she pressed just the due button and said, okay, this has to be paid. And suddenly I was confronted with a 2,000 euros bill, including the scaling part. And so on. So I was like, oh, okay, I might have to pay only 2,000, but let's assume I have to pay 2,500. So this is something that I need to pay. There's no interest on it as far as I'm aware of. It's just I have to pay it in installments, let's say of 10 installments. So that will be more or less 2,250 euros per month. So due date, I'm not sure. For the mortgage, I wrote down last day of the month, more or less last week of the month, so and that's what I have to think about. Then the next bigger debt in that context for me right now is a school stipend. Let me explain it to you like this. I was studying in Germany, but before I completed my university course, a lot of things happened in my life. I was not on track with my studies, and before I could finish it, I decided to go on an exchange semester to Southeast Asia. And out of 1 month, out of one semester, this semester turned into 6.5 years staying abroad somewhere in Southeast Asia, completing a bachelor course there and working there, etc., living there. And in the meantime, the school stipend that I got from the German government turned into a student loan, because they said we cannot find any, completion records, or you didn't submit anything, so therefore you need to pay it. And thankfully, my family, my sisters and my mom took care of this one. I am not even sure how much the exact amount is, but I assume, let's say, for the amount that I received, or for the time period that I received it, divided by 50%, it might be the range of 3,000 to 4,000 euros. We have not talked in detail about this debt, with my siblings and so on, but even if it's 5,000 euros, I want to pay it up. I want to be clear about that. I want to pay it up and be done with it. Now you might see there is not so much anything else, because I don't have, I have a car, but I paid that car already up when I bought it, and I also paid, put my first other car as a down payment on the whole amount, so that was due. So my car is fully paid. There's only the maintenance cost, but this is not real debt in that context. I have a credit card that I'm currently using, but the way it is set up right now, for me, it's like this. I believe it's for a lot of people set up like this. the payment is due every month. Meaning, for example, if I do make if I spend money, or if I use my credit card to make payments, etc., etc., of course the sum increases, but the payment is due, let's say, next month on the 6th, around the 6th of the new month. So for me, it's always the, let's say, pressure there. Don't overspend too much because it's due next month. So it's not like, for example, like in the US, as far as I understood, you can have the, credit card debt for a long time and drag it on and so on. No, my bank kind of says, on one hand, it's good, of course, you have to pay it up immediately, no matter what you spend. For example, that was painful for me to spend money when after the Black Friday and Christmas sale, I was suddenly like, due 1,200 euros the next month on my credit card. I was like, oh my God, of course I had the money. I forced myself not to spend so much money again, but it was painful. And why I wanted to do this, video, that confession video, is also, is just to hold myself accountable, but also, to work on my habits of spending. I know everybody's different. I know the reasoning behind everybody's, spending habits is different. Some of us, it might be just, you don't even think about it. You just want something and you buy it, but you don't think about why is there this want, why is there the need. And for me, just to give you a little bit of, more information, I know that I need to tackle some kind of trauma, for sure. And this can cause within me different reactions. Let's say it can be sometimes that I might overeat, it's, or I eat something without thinking about it, let's say, because out of boredom or whatsoever. Or it can happen that I spend money without thinking about, do I really need it? Is it really necessary? Don't I have it already? So, there's different motivation, and I know that not everybody's ready to talk about it. Some people might, hint to it, but not many in the budgeting community, as far as I understood. I know that, again, my situation is different, or of course, compared to others, some of the cash budgeters, they have family, they have more monthly costs than I do, and so I get that sometimes, spending is inevitable, but in my case, a lot of times it would have been it would have been avoidable, or because I know from my own, life, I'm working, or I always held jobs. I was since when I was 16, I was already working, and I was always the one, let's say, signing up for overtime to earn more money and to spend more money, and there was no, let's say, for me, the special training, or let's say just I could not see anything else in my family, let's say, that said, or that showed, okay, we have a certain spending habits or spending routine. We take care of financial situation this way or that way, or so. It was never, let's say, given to me as a kind of, education in that sense, if it makes, if the way I say it now. It was more like, okay, I have the money, I spend it, and that's it, So, of course, there was sometimes, the situation where my mom said, yeah, don't spend so much, save your money, but who listens to you, to their moms, when you are, let's say, in a spending mode, or you are like, okay, yeah, I will do that next month, and so on. So it kind of, how can I say, formed bad habits, of course. Again, psychologically, I respond sometimes in overspending on things that I really don't need at this moment. So so that was it, actually, what I wanted to say with this video. I hope it was interesting to you, of course, and of course you might have, heard something that interests you, as well as might give you, a hint or idea or something like that. Of course, it doesn't mean that you or I will solve our financial problems immediately, or financial situation, resolve it immediately. It's more like it is what it is. So I will finish this video now. I hope I see you in my budget video for the month of May. All the best to you. See you in the next video.